Hey everybody, how you doing? Today I want to talk about dream, D-R-E-A-M. What does dream mean to you? Well, to me, dream in marketing probably means something entirely different than what you're thinking of. We're going to talk about it. Stay tuned.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.
What exactly does dream mean? All right, well, to me, in the marketing world, dream is an acronym that stands for, well, before I tell you, I actually got this from a 1993 hit by the Wu-Tang Clan called Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar dollar bill, y'all. I don't really know all the words, but anyway, our acronym that my company, my team, all of us live by is DREAM. Data rules everything around me. All right, so look, in marketing, I'm all for creativity. But if your creativity is not being supported by the data, you might have a problem, okay? So what exactly am I talking about as far as data rules everything around me? Well, I'm going to stick to social media because for the past 9 years, we hear it all the time. There's two things that really stand out when companies call us. One is dissatisfaction with their prior marketing agency. All right, so that's to be understood. Okay, that's why they're calling you. But one of the main reasons is being able to track what they're doing online, and more particularly social media, into measurable business results. Now, I hear it all the time, especially from B2B businesses. How do you do that? Or that's not possible, or this really doesn't work. Well, look, when you look at content marketing and MarTech, all right, so MarTech being marketing technology being two of the top spends for chief marketing officers 20 to 21, all right, 2020 to 2021. That says something. It's sort of like saying everybody is telling you that eating your greens is good for you, and you're like, no, they're not. There's an issue here if you're the only one that's saying that they're not good for you. Okay? So let's talk about data. It's a little much to go into in this short segment, but I want to give you some food for thought. Let's talk about 3 data sources that are readily available to any business out there. Okay? 3 of them. So what are they? They are Google Analytics, Google My Business, and the social analytics of any social media platform. So let's talk about the social analytics. Do you know exactly what to look at? Do you know the meaning of the data? If you are not at least looking at your data once a week, okay, to identify any trends, you're already falling short. Now, the more data points, the more accurate the data. So we like to look at data every 2 weeks and then also monthly, but weekly we're able to see, okay, are we on the right trend? Is there an uptick? Now there's a lot of variables that can play into that. It could be seasonality. It could be there's a holiday that week. It could just be whatever that your data might be going down. Okay, so that's why I look at it weekly. Then we look at the 2 weeks. Then we say, okay, how are we trending this month compared to last month when we're looking at the data? Now, what exactly should you be looking at? And what are the meanings of different types of data? So as far as the social analytics go, there are a few things that you can look at. Okay, and this is readily available through your social media marketing software or things like Facebook Insights, Twitter analytics, Instagram analytics. Okay, if you have a business Instagram account, they can be pretty detailed and give you a good idea of how you're trending. All right, so one thing you want to always look at is what is working. What type of media is working? Is it links? Is it video? Is it images? Or maybe it's a combination of the two. Okay, now, do you know the difference between reach, impressions, engagement rate? Okay, now it's a little bit much to get into. I'm going to be holding some webinars to discuss those in a little bit more detail and how to actually read the analytics, but these are some metrics that you should be taking a look at. A lot of us are hung up on followers. How many followers do I have? Let me give you something to think about. Okay, look at this scenario. Let's say your follower count is going down, your engagement rate is going up, your reach is going up. Now, if you are fretting over, oh, I'm losing followers, well, guess what? They're probably not the right followers, because you are basically kind of weeding out the ones that are not really interested in what you have to offer. And what you are offering is actually catching the interest of those that are interested in your product or service. So now let's talk about the posting and the content and the call to action. What good is it if you're posting a bunch of stuff on social media without a CTA, as we marketers like to call it, call to action? Where are you actually driving these people? How are you keeping their interest? Are you driving them into a CRM? Are you sending them to your web page so that maybe they can download a white paper? Okay? That is usually the first step in starting to measure the impact of your social media marketing efforts. If you are not driving people to make a phone call, which can be tracked through phone call tracking, or into a CRM, so now you can pre-qualify them. Okay, now I'm talking about marketing automation here. That's a totally different discussion. Okay, but marketing automation, the more powerful CRMs and automation platforms will allow you to actually pre-qualify your prospects as they go through the customer journey. And a lot of that can be automated. Okay, it is a lot easier for a salesperson to pick up the phone when they know exactly what the prospect has done. Let me give you an example. Hello, Mrs. So-and-so. This is Mr. So-and-so with so-and-so company. I've noticed that you have been interacting with a lot of our content lately. You downloaded a white paper. You started following us on social media. You've even commented on some of our... I'd like to know if there are any... Get it? Okay, it's a lot easier to reach out to somebody that's been engaging with your content as opposed to going, hey, I'm so-and-so with so-and-so company. Do you need our services? Well, who the heck are you? Right? Okay, I think I've made my point. Okay, let's talk about the measurement. Now, how do you actually measure the effectiveness? Well, one thing is to look at CLV, customer lifetime value. Another thing is to look at the amount of referrals that you get, word of mouth referrals. How often are those being converted? Do you have a 50%? Do you have a 30%? 1/3 of your clients actually refer your businesses? Are you even tracking that? How many phone calls are you getting? Do you know the conversion rate between phone calls, website visits, or even asking for directions on Google Maps? That information is readily available on Google My Business. For example, if you know the websites usually convert about 2.35% to 5%, let me do something easier. Phone calls and directions usually convert 30 to 50%. All right, let's just go 30%, conservative, low end. And you know that you are getting 100 phone calls or requests for directions. Okay, you know that about 33.3% of those should convert. Now you also have to take into account the effectiveness of your sales team. But if we just say, okay, let's take that variable out of that and look at 33.3%, and now you tie that to customer lifetime value, the value of one customer, if you want to break it down into annual, if you want to break it down into monthly, and then you tie in the actual referral rate, you can have an idea of how much revenue you should be generating. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I didn't go into a lot of depth. I'm going to be covering everything in more specificity down the line. That's the right word. But I hope you understand that there are a lot of companies out there that are just putting things on social media without even looking at the data. You have to know what data to look at. You have to know where to find it. You have to know how to interpret it and then convert that into business results. All right? How do you pivot based on the data. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear your comments, your questions below. Take care. God bless.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, and turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting